You know, it's actually way simpler than you might think to get ahead of 99% of people using AI. While most of us are just kind of poking at it, the top 1%, they're playing a completely different game. They're not just using AI, they're building a personalized engine for their success. So, what do they know that the rest of us don't? Well, that's exactly what we're about to break down.
Okay, so this really gets to the heart of it. For 99% of people, AI is a simple chatbot. You ask it a basic question, get a basic answer. It's a fun little tool. But for the top 1%, it's their creative operating system. It's a strategic co-creator. It's not just a tool, it's the engine they're building their future with. It's a total mindset shift.
All right, so where do we even begin building an engine like that? Well, it all starts with the foundation, the absolute bedrock of everything. You have to learn to speak the AI's language. We're talking about prompt engineering, and honestly, getting this right is totally non-negotiable. Look, a perfect prompt isn't some dark art. It's actually a pretty simple formula. You start by giving the AI a role. Tell it to be a world-class marketer or a seasoned lawyer. This tells it which part of its massive brain to use. Then you give it context, all the background info it needs. Next up is a crystal clear command, no ambiguity. And finally, you tell it the format. Do you want bullet points, a table, a PDF? It's simple, right? But it all comes down to that old saying, garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so once you've nailed how to talk to the AI, the next level up is all about personalization. This is where you stop using a generic tool and start molding it into a true extension of your own mind. It's about teaching it to think, write, and create, just like you. I love this quote from Ben Affleck because it perfectly sums up the next skill, and it's a surprising one. It's taste. See, AI can generate 100 different logos or 1,000 different headlines, but it has no idea which one is actually great. That's on you. In a world where anyone can generate infinite stuff, your unique taste, your judgment, that becomes your superpower. But I know what you're thinking. How do you teach something as abstract as taste to a machine? Well, you make it concrete. You start by building a taste library, a collection of world-class work that you love. Then you focus on your vocabulary. The difference between telling the AI to write like a boss versus a leader is huge. And finally, you create a set of universal rules, like always write at a 9th grade level or never use cheesy motivational quotes. These become your AI's guiding principles. You know that feeling when you use ChatGPT and it sounds so bland and generic, like a stranger? Well, that's because it is a stranger. You haven't properly introduced yourself. The solution to this is what we call a master prompt. Think of it like your digital ID card for the AI. It's one single document that tells the AI everything about you, your goals, your style, so that every single thing it generates is perfectly tuned to you. And trust me, making one is way easier than it sounds. First, you just ask the AI to interview you. Just say, act as an expert brand strategist and interview me to build my profile. Then just answer its questions. And here's a pro tip. Use your phone's voice to text. You'll speak more naturally and give it way more detail. Finally, have the AI compile all of that into your master prompt and, this is crucial, save it as a PDF. That way, it's future-proof and you can take it to any AI platform. Okay, let's talk about what it really takes to get world-class results. For their big Christmas commercial, Coca-Cola used AI. Any guess how many prompts it took to get that final, perfect result? 70,000. But here's the kicker. The truly mind-blowing part of that story, all 70,000 of those prompts were generated by a team of just 5 experts. That's the power of iteration. The top 1% know the first output is almost never the best one. They push, they refine, they tweak, and they iterate relentlessly until what they have isn't just good, it's perfect.
So you've put in the work, you've iterated like crazy, and you've created a masterpiece. Awesome. But the real pros, they don't do one-hit wonders. They build engines. They build systems for repeatable excellence. And that's where systemization comes in. Now, to build that engine, we need to get clear on 2 different kinds of prompts. We've got the master prompt and the system prompt. The master prompt gives the AI context. It tells it who you are. The system prompt, on the other hand, gives the AI instructions. It tells it how to behave for a specific repeatable task. And this right here, this is a game changer. I mean, for the entire history of technology, programming meant learning complex code. Not anymore. For the first time ever, we have a technology that we program with plain English. With system prompts, anyone who can write is now effectively an AI programmer. It's absolutely wild.
You know the saying, a cluttered desk is a cluttered mind. Same goes for your AI workspace. Messy inputs are going to give you messy outputs, every time. So you have to treat it like a well-tended garden. Use project folders for everything. In each one, you plant your master prompt and any specific context. And you keep your best system prompts in their own organized library, ready to go whenever you need them.
All right, we've covered the foundation, personalization, and systemization. Now we're getting to the top of the pyramid, the final, most advanced layer of skills. This is where you stop seeing the AI as just a tool and start elevating it into a true strategic co-pilot.
Let's be real. AI, by default, is a people pleaser. It just wants to agree with you. But that's not always helpful, right? The pros know this, and they force it to push back. Tell it to act as a devil's advocate and tear your ideas apart. Then, and this is the key, ask it to explain why, using first principles. This doesn't just improve your idea, it actually teaches you how to think better. Then you take those insights and bake them right into your master prompt, permanently upgrading your copilot. Okay, here's something that sounds completely backwards, but it's so important. You can actually hurt an AI's performance by giving it too much information. If you feed it a 2 million-word document, its brain kind of short-circuits. So the experts use a technique called context compression. They use the AI to summarize and condense all that raw data into a super-focused briefing that it can actually work with. And the process for this is beautifully simple. Step 1 is paste the mess. Seriously, just dump all your raw notes, transcripts, whatever, and tell the AI to pull out the key facts and stories. Step 2, ask it, what did you remove? This is your chance to make sure it didn't leave out anything critical. And step 3, lock it in. You start a totally fresh chat using only that powerful compressed context.
Now for what is maybe my favorite skill of all, and it's something almost nobody is doing, using AI as your own personal tutor. You can literally say, I have 7 minutes, teach me about quantum physics, or write me a 10-minute paper on the history of AI, but explain it like I'm a 7th grader. Then you just hit the little text-to-speech button, pop in your headphones, and listen to your own custom-made podcast on your walk or at the gym. It's a complete game changer.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground here. All these different skills and strategies, but if you walk away with just one single idea from all of this, what should it be? Well, it's about making a fundamental shift in how you even see this technology.
This is it. This is the whole thing right here. Stop treating AI like a simple chatbot you ask for recipes. Start using it to build a creative operating system, a system to co-create with, to stress test your big ideas with, and to accelerate every single one of your goals.
So the playbook is right in front of you. 99% of people are going to stay in the shallow end, just dabbling, but you now have the skills to join that top 1%. Your copilot is fueled up and ready to go. So the only question left is, what are you going to create first?